Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Here comes rain. It'll be widespread. I'll explain why tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day coming up.
Student charged. Instead of planning for graduation, a high school senior is set to appear in court today. What we know about the case.
And breaking news, President Trump is coming to North Carolina. We'll tell you when he's coming and where he's going to be.
We've issued a WRAL weather alert day for tomorrow due to the threat of heavy rain. Good afternoon to you. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Thanks for joining us. Meteorologist Kat Campbell is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center to let us know when that rain arrives.
We're going to see the rain get here tomorrow morning. Make the most of today while it is still dry. Tomorrow we've got a high likelihood for rain, and it really should add up out there. For the triangle points north, we're looking at about half an inch to up to an inch of rain. And in our eastern counties, that's where we could see an inch to an inch and a half of rain. And this is just during the day tomorrow. That means there's going to be a lot of rain. The flood risk does remain on the lower side tomorrow, but we do want to let you know that's not entirely out of the question, that there could be some localized flooding with the rain that's on the way from this system. Some good news to tell you. It's not going to become anything tropical. The chance of it developing, getting a name or anything like that stands at 0% now, and it's been low all along, but we will be impacted by this system. 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, we've got some spotty showers around the area. It should be relatively light for the morning commute. And then as we head into the afternoon, we're going to see on and off showers and perhaps a few rumbles of thunder during the day. We could also start to see some pockets of heavier rain, especially after lunchtime. The bottom line here is that there will be some breaks in the rain for the day tomorrow, but there's likely to be rain around for the morning commute. And new runs of Futurecast have it sticking around even into the evening hours now. Coming up, I'll have a closer look at when this system moves out and another moves in for your weekend.
And back here in the Life Center with that breaking news, President Trump is coming to North Carolina next week. He will be coming to Fort Bragg on Tuesday, June 10th. We have just learned this in the past hour or so. The last time he visited North Carolina is back in January. He was in Western North Carolina to speak about the area's recovery from Hurricane Helene. As more details come out on exactly where he will be, what he will be doing, we'll bring that to you.
A student at Enloe Magnet High School charged with setting fire at the school will appear in court this afternoon. 18-year-old Jermaine Cotton is a senior at Enloe. He's charged with disorderly conduct and burning a schoolhouse, which is a felony. WRAL's Carly Haynes is live at the Wake County Courthouse with how the fire started. Carly, what have we learned?
Well, the student is going to be appearing in front of a judge for the first time today, and we're going to be inside the room where that's set to take place. We've learned that Jermaine Cotton is a current senior at Enloe High School. That's according to the current varsity football roster and the school's yearbook. The Wake County Fire Department said this was an intentional fire. It started around 1 p.m. on May 30th in a bathroom trash can shortly before school ended. Fortunately, the fire was small, no injuries, no significant damage. The fire department said that these kinds of fires are actually relatively common. They've responded to them before. They cause a disruption to classes because students have to evacuate. And in a letter to families, the school's principal wrote that students were cleared to return to their classrooms with the exception of the classes located in close proximity to the bathroom where the smoke still lingered. Students' belongings were retrieved and classes were relocated to a safe area of the building. Cotton is in jail right now under a $50,000 bond. He's going to be appearing in the Wake County Courthouse in just about an hour and a half. Carly Haynes, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
A man who pleaded guilty in the death of a 6-year-old Cary girl was sentenced to a maximum of 32 months in prison. Andrew Everett pled guilty to the two most serious charges, involuntary manslaughter and misdemeanor death by motor vehicle. Everett hit and killed Jocelyn Hernandez in December 2023 on Walnut Street near Dunham Park. According to court documents, he had a lack of remorse at the scene and used derogatory language toward the girl.
And back here in the WRAL Live Center, an 18-year-old was just arrested near Panther Creek High School in Cary. That high school was actually on lockdown for a short time while they were looking for Landon Giggins of Cary. He's a former student there. Sky 5 flew over the scene. This is video here. He was spotted in the wood line between Panther Creek High School and the Astor Apartments community. That's when he took off towards NC 55. Officers did manage to catch him and arrest him. Panther Creek, as I mentioned, was placed on a precautionary code yellow lockdown while police looked for Giggins. They say the school has returned back to normal operations. We're also learning this afternoon that Giggins was charged back in May for assault on a female. A warrant was placed for his arrest on June 2nd.
A vote at the state legislature could set up the first veto fight between Governor Stein and the legislature. We're talking about a new immigration bill, and WRAL's Kelsey Coffey reports from the legislative building where a vote in the House could happen during this newscast.
State lawmakers are inside the legislative building preparing to make a critical vote. We've been following this bill for months. It passed in the Senate earlier this year, and the House will likely vote within an hour. The bill requires all state agencies and state-funded programs to check every person's immigration status and refuse to serve anyone who can't prove they're here legally, with a few exceptions, like schools and emergency rooms. Republicans say the bill is necessary to support President Trump's efforts to close the border. Immigration advocates say it's unnecessary and could hurt the state's economy. State data shows 1 out of every 4 construction workers are immigrants here in North Carolina, and 13% of all construction workers in the U.S. are undocumented. If this bill is approved and lands on Governor Josh Stein's desk, it could lead to the first veto fight between the governor and state lawmakers. You can stay up to date on WRAL.com. Just click on the NC Capitol tab. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
If a vote happens during this newscast, we will bring that to you. Most of the new students using North Carolina's private school tuition vouchers didn't come from a public school. That's according to new data from the state leaders, who will hear that during the State Board of Education meeting today. New reports show most of the new students may have already attended a private school or were homeschooled or came from out of state. Opportunity scholarships, they're called, provide up to nearly $8,000 to families to send their children to a private school. About 48,000 new students signed up after state lawmakers removed income limits and let current private school students apply. Only about 14% of them attended a North Carolina public school the year before.
A man charged in a deadly shooting in Catawba County over the weekend appeared in court this morning. Garen Killian was being held without bond, but the judge set bond at $200,000. WRAL's Ken Smith joins us now with the new information revealed at today's hearing. Ken.
Renee, that shooting at a house party in Catawba County killed 1 man and injured 11 others over the weekend. Take a look at 20-year-old Garen Killian as he appeared in a Catawba County courtroom this morning. Killian is charged with first-degree attempted murder. He didn't have much to say, only apologizing to the court for being involved in what he referred to as this situation. During this brief court appearance, though, investigators and prosecutors laid out the case against Killian. They believe several other shooters were involved. More than 80 shell casings were found at that scene of that house party that investigators say was attended by mostly high school-age students. Authorities are offering a $15,000 reward for information that could lead to the arrest of other suspected shooters. Now, 58-year-old Sean Hood died in that mass shooting. Among the victims who were injured, they were either shot or injured while trying to get away from that gunfire. A look for more reporting on this story in our news starting at 4 on WRAL News Plus and, of course, online at WRAL.com.
And back here in the Live Center, the Wake Forest Police Department searching for a missing woman, missing since last night. This is her on your screen. 41-year-old Serena Marie Hoover was last seen last night, 8:30, walking along Main Divide Drive in Wake Forest. She has blonde hair, blue eyes. She's about 5'5", weighs 170 pounds, wearing a light blue shirt, black leggings, light gray socks, and no shoes. She is believed to be suffering from a form of cognitive impairment. If you see her, if you know where she is, call police right away.
At the stroke of midnight, President Trump's 50% tariffs on foreign-made steel and aluminum went into effect. The two metals had previously faced 25% tariffs worldwide since mid-March. Steel and aluminum are used in household products like soup cans and paper clips, as well as big-ticket items like stainless steel refrigerators and cars. Steel and aluminum from the UK will continue to face a 25% tariff.
Let the games begin. Today is the kickoff for the soccer tournament. Dozens of teams from around the world are here in Raleigh for one purpose: win the $1 million prize. Laura Levine was in Cary as excited fans arrived for day one of competition.
The game is on here at the Wake Med Soccer Park for the third TST currently underway, and this is a high-stakes competition.
I'm feeling great, ready to see the games.
48 men's teams and 16 women's teams are vying for the $1 million prize. The event features music, food, games, exclusive meet and greets, celebrities, and 134 game-winning goals over 6 days, shining a light on international and local talent.
What is it like to see your son on the field right now?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. He, he played all these years, played at Duke for college, and now this is kind of bonus time.
These proud parents are on the sidelines rooting for their son, number 25, Cody Brinkman, for Tobacco Road FC.
For all the years that we drove him to soccer games, he promised he'd share with us when they win. So.
Absolutely. Does he have a choice? Is the question. That's
right. No, not really.
And TST is going above and beyond to make sure adults and kids will have the experience of a lifetime.
What are you looking forward to the most?
Just trying to see how good the level of play is.
Fans have the chance to meet soccer stars, favorite players, and celebrities and members of the team they're cheering for. And it's also creating core memories for families like this father and son duo.
Well, I think it's amazing because I never played soccer, but my son played it, so I've gotten into it since he's done it. But it's really cool to see him grow and learn things that he's done, and then now to have this grow here, it's exciting.
And if you're wondering some of the scheduled times for the festivals that are happening here as well as the matches, you can head over to WRAL.com where we have everything you need to know. Laura Levine, WRAL News in Cary.
Oh, yeah, it's full tilt soccer out there. Next at noon, new information on the Arkansas police chief who escaped from prison 10 days ago, where police may believe he may be.
Also, agro-terrorism, the people accused of smuggling a fungus that can potentially be used as a weapon.
Plus, the family of a former North Carolina Central University basketball player who died last month files a lawsuit. We'll tell you what that's all about.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.
On the Virginia side, Carr Lake right there as we take a look here. Some clouds up there. Going to be warm and humidity starts to build in. Enjoy today before the storm rolls in as you watch WRAL News, available on Hulu and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device.
And here in the WRAL Live Center this afternoon, we are learning the FBI has arrested a man linked to last month's car bombing at a fertility clinic in Palm Springs, California. This is video here of that bombing. 32-year-old Daniel Park of Washington was arrested last night at JFK Airport in New York. Now, the FBI identified Guy Edward Bartkus as the suspect in the car bomb detonation. A body was found in a charred vehicle outside that clinic. The blast gutted the American Reproductive Center's fertility clinic and shattered windows of nearby buildings. Investigators working to learn more about the motives in this.
A Washington state man is charged with kidnapping and killing his 3 daughters. Law enforcement says Travis Decker is a military veteran with extensive training. He was last seen in the Wenatchee National Forest. That's where a deputy on patrol found his truck and then the children's bodies about 100 feet away. Police also found key pieces of evidence near the truck, including zip ties and plastic bags.
It's hard to imagine why somebody would do that.
What's the gift
if it's his children and stuff? It's a horrible, vengeful act if that's the case. He was taking it out on innocent kids.
The girls were reported missing after Decker failed to return them on time from a scheduled visitation. Court documents show the Deckers had fought over the custody of their 3 children, and their mother said Decker was homeless and had been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, but that violence had never been a concern.
Horrible. We have brand new developments in the search for 3 inmates who escaped from 2 different prisons. We begin in Arkansas, where the Department of Corrections released a new image of what Grant Harden could look like 10 days after his escape. The former police chief was serving time for murder and rape. The DOC there believes Hardin is still in the north central Arkansas area. The FBI and U.S. Marshals are offering a combined reward of $25,000 for information leading to the arrest of Hardin. Now to New Orleans, where authorities are working around the clock to find the last 2 inmates who broke out of prison. Officers raided a New Orleans home after one of the men, Antoine Massey, posted a video on social media. For 9 minutes, Massey pleads for help, claiming he did not break out but was let out of prison. Authorities were tipped off by relatives who recognized the home, but by the time they arrived, Massey was gone and the clothes he was wearing were left behind. The other inmate, Derek Groves, was convicted of killing 2 people on Fat Tuesday in 2018. He was awaiting his sentencing. Authorities are now offering up to a $50,000 reward for each of those escapees.
2 Chinese researchers were charged with smuggling a biological pathogen into the U.S. The couple planned to study at a University of Michigan lab. According to an FBI affidavit, the fungus is described as a potential agro-terrorism weapon. It can cause disease in certain plants like corn, rice, and barley. The charges come as the Trump administration is cracking down on Chinese students studying in the United States.
The government is hiring again just as the hurricane season begins. This reversal comes after months after hundreds of national weather forecasters were fired under the department headed by Elon Musk. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration began posting jobs this week. NOAA is the parent agency of the National Weather Service. Musk targeted both for budget-related cuts. However, critics warned NOAA and the Weather Service had been cut too sharply. FEMA's reacting to a breakdown in communication with the White House that it says makes the agency look slow. FEMA officials say there have been several instances where the White House has approved disaster relief funds without notifying them, leading to delays and confusion. Typically, FEMA advises the White House on which disasters warrant federal assistance. Once approved, the president signs a state's disaster declaration and FEMA is notified so relief efforts can begin. But FEMA says in numerous cases, the agency has been notified that assistance was approved after the states were already notified. Could be a problem.
Certainly. Well, we're going to squeeze out one more beautiful day before the storms arrive tomorrow. Kat Campbell has a look at how it's feeling now. Nice temperatures.
It's beautiful outside, a little hotter today, a little bit more humid, but you've got to make the most of today while you can. 82 in Raleigh, 82 at the airport there, 80 in Cary and Apex, 78 at Garner at the moment, and 79 in Chapel Hill. It's a little more humid today, but it feels like June. I know a lot of people are hoping to get to the pool, the playground. Now that the school year is wrapping up for many, temperatures are in the mid-80s at the playground this afternoon. It is partly cloudy, but still likely to be dry. As for the muggy meter, it's tolerable today, but tomorrow and Friday, it is going to feel much more humid, especially Friday, because it's not going to be all that hot tomorrow. This weekend, highs reach the 90s with high humidity. It's going to be sizzling hot outside. Carolina Beach looking beautiful today. You can see a lot of beachgoers here. It's not going to look anything like this tomorrow. Widespread rain will impact the coast and us here inland. So let's talk about how much rain the coast could see. Anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. And this is over the next 5 days. So some of this rain is going to come from the system that arrives tomorrow. Some of it will also come from a cold front that moves in from the west, the other direction on Saturday. Half an inch to an inch in the northern part of our viewing area, including Raleigh and the Triangle. It could be closer to 1.5 inches to 2 inches for areas along and east of I-95. So a pretty healthy dose of rain there. Let's talk about the rip current risk with this system originating over the ocean. Good news is it's not going to become anything tropical. There will be the threat for rip currents because it's going to turn up rough surf. The rip current risk as of right now looks moderate today and tomorrow, and perhaps will settle down Friday, but I encourage you pay very close attention to the flags that are flying at the coast so you can be safe. It's always a good idea this time of year to remind your family of rip current safety and how to escape one. Thursday, along the Outer Banks, there could be some issues where we go into a high category for a rip current risk. So again, just pay close attention to the color of the flags that are flying. If you are headed to the beach tomorrow, widespread rain and thunderstorms will impact you. But by Friday, those storms really shift more toward the northern coast, and they should be more isolated at our southern beaches. Here's the setup. We've got this area of low pressure that swings through tomorrow. It'll bring on and off rain here here and at the coast pretty much all throughout the day, but there should at least be some breaks in the rain. And then a separate system will move in once we get to the weekend, and this should bring some scattered thunderstorms by Saturday evening. Here's a closer look at what to expect today. Nice and dry. Tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day, and this is because we're likely to see widespread rain with the commutes being impacted. By Friday, storms are more isolated, but storm chances are back to 60% Saturday. We will have to watch for a few stronger storms Saturday. There's going to be a lot of energy, 92, high heat and humidity. That will help to fuel some of those thunderstorms.
Kat, thank you. Education uncertainty. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill grilling Education Secretary about department cuts that could impact students at every level. Today on WRAL News at 4, what this could mean for the future of student loan payments and your child's higher education.
Addressing those DMV text scams. We've told you about them. You've probably gotten them. On WRAL News at 5 on your side explains the parts of this scam that are so convincing and what to do if you get one. And still ahead this noon, thoughts on tipping. Americans share the new sentiments about the topic and the results of a new survey coming up after the break.
A new survey reveals that nearly 2/3 of Americans have a negative view on tipping. A new survey from Bankrate finds 41% of people say tipping culture has gotten out of control and that businesses should pay their employees better instead of having them rely on tips. A majority of people say the amount they tip is influenced most by the quality of service. It looks like people are preparing to shell out the big bucks to find that perfect Father's Day gift this year. A survey from the National Retail Federation is predicting spending to reach a record-breaking $24 billion. That's up from $22.4 billion last year. The survey shows the average person plans to spend around $200, with most of that money going toward greeting cards, clothing, a special outing, or gift cards. Father's Day is Sunday, June 15th.
Aspiring entrepreneurs will get a chance to show off their products today at Wake Tech Community College. The Wake Tech Alumni Vendor Expo is being hosted at the Southern Wake campus on Fayetteville Road in Raleigh this afternoon. The organizers say this is a chance for graduates of the Launch Wake County program to show off what they've learned and how they are strengthening the local business community. That event runs from 1 to 4 this afternoon. Professor protections, an update on UNC faculty efforts to receive tenure.
And mosquito magnet. Why are some people bitten more than others? We'll help you avoid becoming a prime target of these summer pests. First, here's a look at the winning lottery numbers.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
New this noon, the family of a North Carolina Central basketball player who died in 2023 is now suing the university. WRAL's Noah Klein joins us with what we know about this. Noah.
Renee, 22-year-old Devin Butts died suddenly back in May of 2023. He was a member of the university's basketball team. We do know he was on track to graduate that summer. Butts was originally from Macon, Georgia. His family has now filed a wrongful death case in Durham County Court. Butts' death certificate says he died of a heart issue back in 2023. NC Central basketball coach Lavelle Motton called him an incredible teammate with an infectious smile. In a statement, an NC Central spokesperson tells WRAL they are aware of the lawsuit, writing, quote, "As a matter of policy, the university does not comment on pending legal proceedings." Still working to learn more about the specifics of that suit. Look for WRAL's Monica Casey reports on this developing story beginning on WRAL News at 4.
More than 30 UNC Chapel Hill professors who are waiting for decisions about their future have received tenure. WRAL reported last week. Faculty raised concerns after the Board of Trustees deferred more than 24 tenure appointments at their May meeting. Today, the board approved those deferred appointments in a written ballot. Tenure professors are often paid more. Faculty argue tenure is important for recruitment and retention of top candidates.
Covering Wake County, starting next month, the state's largest school district will implement a new cell phone policy. Wake County Board of Education unanimously approved the new guidelines last night to prevent distractions during instruction time. Here's what's in it. Devices must be stored in a locker, a backpack, bag, or some other place out of sight. Smartwatches must be disconnected from smartphones. Only high school students can use phones for academic purposes, and it allows phones for students with health plans or disabilities. During the public comment period, a parent shared concerns that exemptions for those students wouldn't be honored.
The way forward is to invest in digital citizenship, set fair and specific boundaries, and ensure safeguards for students who need those devices to access school at all.
Policy says students would be warned for breaking the rules, followed by confiscation a second time. A full breakdown of the policy is on WRAL. And now that Wake County has made the decision to restrict that cell phone use, what are they up against in this? WRAL's Destiny Patterson teamed up with our education insider, Emily Walkenhorst, to go inside several of the schools in our area to see what's working, what's not working, is one policy better than another, and what to do. What do students think and teachers think about this? We have those answers, and we'll answer those questions for you tomorrow night on WRAL News at 6.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, some terrible news out of India. At least 11 people are dead. More than 30 are hurt after a stampede there. These are photos. This happened today. It happened as tens of thousands of cricket fans tried to enter a cricket stadium. Officials say most of the injured were stable and receiving treatment in hospitals. But again, so far, at least 11 people killed in this. The Board of Control for Cricket in India called the incident unfortunate. Stampedes are relatively common in India.
Only on WRAL. Today, Governor Josh Stein is signing an executive order calling for a council to explore the pros and cons of legalizing cannabis in North Carolina. In an exclusive interview at the governor's mansion yesterday, Stein described the current state of cannabis products being sold in North Carolina as the Wild West. The governor says his views about legalizing THC products have evolved. He now believes they should be legal because a better regulated system will get harmful products away from children.
Because the world is different today in 2025 than it was 5 years ago. Because these vape shops are everywhere. Because there are story after story of teenagers, just like you described, buying these products, consuming these products, and having terrible physical and psychological responses.
The State Advisory Council will be made up of people with differing views on cannabis. To hear more of the interview, including the governor's thoughts on expunging records for low-level marijuana convictions, go to WRAL.com.
President Trump's big, beautiful bill now has a powerful and potent critic. Billionaire Elon Musk is at odds with the Trump administration over the president's chief priority in Congress. Doug Luzader shares what Musk is saying about the effort to push through the measure.
Well, I expect to continue to provide advice whenever the president would like advice.
I hope so.
Just last week in the Oval Office, President Trump said he welcomed Elon Musk's continuing advice. Now, perhaps not so much. Posting on X, Musk just slammed Trump's big, beautiful bill. "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore," he wrote. "This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination."
I agree with Elon Musk.
Democrats in Congress were thrilled, happy to hammer the wedge between Musk and Trump over the big tax cut and spending bill making its way through Congress. In reality, Musk wants less government spending, and Democrats generally want more. But Musk's criticism resonates with fiscal conservatives who worry about piling on to the national debt.
They're planning on spending $5 trillion they don't have, and I'm just not for that.
And the White House says Musk's opposition won't stop the president.
Look, the president already knows where Elon Musk stood on this bill. It doesn't change the president's opinion. This is one big, beautiful bill, and he's sticking to it.
And from Musk, perhaps a warning to Republicans in the House who have already pushed through the bill. "Shame on those who voted for it," he wrote. "You know you did wrong. You know it."
It was Doug Luzader reporting. Republican members of the Senate Finance Committee will huddle with the president at the White House today. They hope to come up with a way to tweak the spending and tax cut bill so that it can pass both chambers of Congress.
We now know who will benefit from a vast majority of Bill Gates' fortune. During a speech at the Nelson Mandela Hall in Ethiopia, Gates announced that most of the $200 billion he plans to give away through the Gates Foundation will go to Africa. The money will be distributed over the next 20 years, dropping his net worth by 99%. Gates says he was inspired to give away his riches from a famous quote from Andrew Carnegie that says, "The man who dies thus rich dies disgraced." Gates' announcement comes after the Trump administration's cuts on foreign aid and reduced humanitarian funding.
On a roll, an outstanding teacher in Apex has plenty to celebrate. Find out why she is celebrating this banner year.
Bug bite bonanza. The season of mosquitoes is upon us. And the reason mosquitoes are attracted to certain people more than others. Remember, you can watch WRAL News live anytime on WRAL.com or the WRAL app on your streaming device.
Our Teacher of the Week is enjoying quite a few accolades and surprises, including when Ken Smith showed up at her school with a special recognition. Ken visits Scotts Ridge Elementary in Apex to show us why this educator is her school's current Teacher of the Year.
And then your sentence was, beavers build their homes with their feet.
When we stopped by Scotts Ridge Elementary in Apex to surprise Lizzie McDaniel, it was field day.
Let's write this way, so right on this arrow. So
We found Miss McDaniel's class, though, taking a break from the fun and games outdoors for a quick classroom lesson.
all right, while Al is writing, let's do some teamwork.
For McDaniel, there was never any doubt what her profession would be.
My mom was a teacher. I grew up in her classroom coming to visit and help. So I've always known I wanted to be a teacher.
When we visited, it was quite the week for McDaniel. Not only was she celebrated as the school's Teacher of the Year, she also got engaged on her birthday, capping off a week of accolades and special moments.
I love how you boys came up with your own sentences.
And it's these moments when her students demonstrate what they're learning, putting their lessons into action, that are most rewarding for McDaniel.
It's like a proud parent moment for me with the kids, just seeing them finally get it. We've been working so hard together, and I obviously want the best for them.
That unending desire for her students to succeed further confirms McDaniel was born to be a teacher.
I feel so lucky to have a job that I'm so excited to wake up and come to every day. It's always something new, it's always exciting, and at the end of the year, it's so hard to say goodbye.
Miss McDaniel, you are WRAL's Teacher of the Week. Give her a big round of applause.
Ken Smith, WRAL News.
And Teacher of the Year at that school, it's a banner year, engaged and everything. If you'd like to nominate a teacher, can't promise all that stuff will happen to you, but you can go to WRAL.com and enter Teacher of the Week in the search box.
Bug Buffet, what you can do to stay off the mosquito menu this summer. And gift tipped. An NFL team responds to angry emails about a gesture during a visit from the president. The item at the center of controversy.
.44 in the afternoon right there, and some afternoon clouds with some blue sky there. A live look from our WRAL studio tower camera right there. Always looks like a mosaic right there. Pretty hot when you step outside today, and keep an eye weather aware as that storm system moves in tomorrow. Pittsburgh Steelers are responding to emails from angry fans over an unofficial gift to President Trump. The Steelers received several angry emails after a former player gave President Trump a number 47 Steelers jersey. It happened last week in Pennsylvania as the president announced plans to increase most steel and aluminum tariffs to 50%. The Steelers say the gesture was not authorized by the team. The club also says views of past and current players do not necessarily reflect those of the organization today.
Swarms of mosquitoes are set on putting a damper of summer fun in the sun. Although insect experts say there are certain factors that make you a prime target, there are strategies you can use to help keep yourself off the menu. Gary Baumgarten takes a closer look.
The warmer and wetter weather is creating excellent conditions for blood-sucking and disease-spreading mosquitoes to thrive. And one mistake you don't want to make is thinking you only need protection if you're going deep into the woods.
If you're walking the dog 2 or 3 times a day or just out in your yard gardening, you're as prone to mosquito bites and tick bites as you are if you're walking the Appalachian Trail.
According to insect specialists like Eric Benson of Clemson University, mosquitoes are attracted to the smell of people's body odor. Repellents help mask our scent.
Really what it does is hide you from the insect finding you.
You can also wear long-sleeve shirts and pants to minimize exposed skin. Meanwhile, if you're hoping citronella candles will make a dent, you're going to need a lot.
They're volatilized in the air. And so for it to be effective, you have to have a certain concentration of those volatiles coming out.
But are some people just natural mosquito magnets? Previous studies suggest the insects prefer people with type O blood, but some researchers say that's debatable.
I wouldn't say that was really strong data.
Benson says mosquitoes are attracted to the CO2 produced when we exhale. People exercising usually produce more. And because mosquitoes like the heat, the higher your body temperature, the more delectable you may become. Your fashion sense may also make an impact.
Mosquitoes tend to like the darker colors, and the darker colors probably also radiate more heat.
I am a mosquito magnet. That was Gary Baumgarten reporting. If you become part of the bug buffet, do not scratch bites because they can become infected. It's hard not to, though, right? Instead, apply an ice pack for 10 minutes to reduce itching and swelling. You can also use an over-the-counter cream to relieve itching.
Everybody's sufficiently worried about bugs all around them right now. Ken Campbell's over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. The heat will come in a couple of days, but we have to worry about this storm coming tomorrow.
Yes, we've got quite a bit of rain in the forecast, especially in our eastern counties tomorrow. Everybody's likely to see rain. Here's the thing with tomorrow's rain chances. There should be some breaks in the rain. So if you've got the WRAL weather app on hand, you might be able to find windows of time where you can head out for a quick dog walk using the dual Doppler 5000 radar. The flood risk is low tomorrow. We should see between ½ inch and 1.5 inches of rain. Lower totals to the north, higher totals to the southeast. As for the timing, it'll be on and off between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. tomorrow. So this is what we're watching right here. Notice a little bit of a swirl motion. It is not going to become tropical. The National Hurricane Center lowered the chances of tropical development from 10%, very low, all the way down to 0%. No chance. So that's good news there. But we've also got a different system coming this weekend. So we're watching this system for tomorrow's rain and then this one for Saturday's rain and storm chances. The coastal low will be gone by the time we get to Saturday. That moves on out. But then this front will get here, and that's what brings the 60% chance of rain and storm Saturday. We are going to need to keep an eye on Saturday's severe storm potential, given how hot and humid it's going to be. The atmosphere should be energized, and we've got this cold front moving in to help trigger more widespread storms. In between Saturday, we've got a lower chance for storms Friday and a lower chance Sunday. There will still be some thunderstorms both Friday and Sunday during the afternoon. There just won't be as many as what we see Saturday. North Hills looking a bit hazy and hot this afternoon. It's definitely been a warmer day. Temperatures should reach the mid-80s this afternoon under partly cloudy skies. For the bus stop forecast, it's still dry this afternoon. After school practices should be in good shape, and we've got great weather today for the soccer tournament. Tomorrow, a bit of a different story here. We've already got rain pushing in, especially just south of the triangle for the main morning commute. That'll spread north later in the morning, and rain chances are pretty high by lunchtime. And then it turns more on and off rain and storms into the afternoon and evening hours, and things settle down later in the evening and overnight. For Friday, the low is still sitting closer to the Outer Banks, but the bulk of the rain is going to be closer to the coast, and you can see it's just some spotty storms that could pop up closer to the afternoon and early evening for Friday. Your 7-day forecast, very summer-like. Tomorrow should be the less hot day of the week due to all the rain that we have in the forecast. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, high temperatures jump back up near 90 through the weekend. Early next week, increasingly wet with storm chances climbing higher Monday into Tuesday. Keep the umbrella handy, but it's that time of year where most days, aside from tomorrow, we don't see all-day type of rain events.
Thanks for that, Kat. Searching for snacks. An elephant strolls into a store, catching the owner off guard. How far investigators think that pachyderm traveled for the treats.
And here's a look at your winning Mega Millions numbers.
As we wrap things up, we have a look at a few of the headlines we're following for you today. A student at Enloe Magnet High School is charged with setting a fire at the school and will appear in court this afternoon. 18-year-old Jermaine Cotton is a senior at the school. He's charged with disorderly conduct and burning a schoolhouse, which is a felony. Right now, Cotton is in jail under a $50,000 bond. He is set to appear in court this afternoon.
President Donald Trump will be appearing at Fort Bragg next week. WRAL News has learned the president will visit the Fayetteville-based military installation on Tuesday, June 10th. It will be Trump's second trip to North Carolina this year. The president visited the western part of the state just days after his inauguration in January to speak about the area's recovery from Hurricane Helene.
A vote at the state legislature could set up the first veto fight between Governor Stein and the legislature. We are talking about a new immigration bill here, and the bill requires all state agencies and state-funded programs to check every person's immigration status and refuse to serve anyone who can't prove they are here legally, with a few exceptions like schools and emergency rooms.
A hungry elephant caused havoc in a grocery store in Thailand in a matter of minutes. The elephant strolled into the store from a nearby national park and helped himself to some snacks. The shocked shopkeeper could do little but yell at the elephant as it calmly chomped down on some treat. A local park ranger says the huge male elephant has been known to enter people's houses in search of food. This was the first time, though, that he just walked into the store.
It's like a pretty good selection.
Back up, watch the head.
I wonder what he measured in on there. I don't know, tasty. Pet of the daytime is interested in the world around her, but takes plenty of time to check things out. Zuzu is a beautiful 2-year-old girl. She may be timid at first, but loves to flirt with nice people and show her gorgeous, fluffy tail. If you take things nice and slow with Zuzu, she'll reward you with love. If you'd like to meet this lovely girl in person, you can just fill out an application on the Cat Angels website.
So adorable. Education uncertainty. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill grilling the education secretary about department cuts that could impact students at every level. Today on WRAL News at 4, what this could mean for the future of student loan payments and your child's higher education.
Sunny day out there, a little breeze for you. It's going to be warm, certainly, before the storm rolls in.
Yeah, soak it all in. Enjoy today. Tomorrow, especially for the morning commute, it will get rainy. So be sure to watch tomorrow's morning news.
It'll be a WRAL Weather Alert Day. NBC News Daily is next on WRAL. You can get your next local news update in 30 minutes.
And you can get breaking news updates anytime with our WRAL News app. We hope you have a wonderful Wednesday.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.